Well, it took them long enough. The NFL has finally made a decision to enact some policy when it comes to the national anthem. So we'll talk a little bit about that, a little bit about the election day that passed this past Tuesday in a couple of states. And we're here in Texas, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And I guess some movies as well. All of this on this 99th episode of TrendChat. Welcome to, as I mentioned already, the 99th episode of TrendChat. I'm your host, Brian Bledsoe. And if you want to connect with us, whether on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, it's all the same name, TrendChat 24/7. Now, I haven't really been counting down all the episodes ever since, the first one, because I know in the middle there somewhere I kind of lost count as far as what episode it was. But obviously, because we're coming up on the 100th episode, which will be next week now. So obviously we like, hey, okay, we know 99 because we know 100 is coming up, because we're already getting everything put together and everything. So looking forward to it. We're going to have some special guests, and actually the show is going to sound a little different as well. So a little bit different. I mean, it's not going to be completely, a whole different sound. I mean, we're going to have the same music. Like I said before, I'm not going to change this music until I stop dancing to it, and I haven't stopped dancing to it. So when I play the song, like, I do a little chair dance, I guess, when I'm playing it. And I haven't stopped doing that, so I'm going to keep the music. So, but I know y'all don't want to hear about me dancing to music, mainly because y'all can't see it. And trust me, you don't want to see it. It looks pretty goofy, but, first, before I start talking about this NFL thing, like I mentioned, it was an election day on Tuesday, and it wasn't just in Texas. I mean, but I live in Dallas, so that it definitely stuck out for me as far as it was a runoff basically on Tuesday, and across the state of Texas there were plenty of races going on, whether for judge or U.S. House, the Texas House, Texas Senate. I mean, just across the board. And it came, after it was all said and done, I guess you could say the more moderate Republicans won a good number of their races. I mean, I don't have like an official count, mainly because I don't have every single race, because like I'm saying, there was a lot of different races, whether we were talking about in the House or Senate, Texas House and Senate and all that. So anyway, I know a lot of times, especially we as conservatives, a lot of times maybe we get involved in these in these races, and honestly, I would probably say it definitely is not 50% of the time conservatives win. It's probably less than, it is less than that. And I know a lot of people tend to get discouraged after every election, whether it's, general, primary, whatever, or like in this case in Texas, it's a runoff. And when they see a conservative lose, I mean, I'm not saying it's like all of them lost. That's not true. But I'm just saying like a good majority of them, did lose. And I know a lot of people tend to get discouraged and want to basically just throw their hands up and like, look, I don't want to be involved anymore. I'm tired of this. Cause I can understand that because, you put your time and money into not only just one campaign, but even in like just a general cause towards, a number of candidates, or you maybe get behind an organization that is endorsing a lot of these conservative candidates. And so you put, the effort in, and then when you unfortunately don't see it pay off in a win, it can get discouraging. And I can understand that. But what I would say is that, a previous guest on TrendChat, the Northeast Tarrant Tea Party president, Julie McCarty, had a really good Facebook post, and it was pretty long, but it was good, and I'm not going to read it all, mainly because I just thought of it and I don't have it readily available to read. But I just kind of paraphrase it a little bit, mainly because just to say, we're not in this, in this fight for wins, just to win. It's not about that. I mean, we get involved because it's the right thing to do. Because now, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm just speaking on. This is me speaking. I'm not saying this is what she said in her Facebook post. I'm saying that for me, my whole reasoning to get involved at all is that I believe that biblical values needs to be fought for and advocated for, and that's the whole reason. So regardless win or lose, me personally, I will continue to advocate for the things I believe are right. And when I said that I believe are right, I believe are right for everyone. This is not something where I just think it's right for me or whatever, some people may want to think as far as when it comes to being involved in politics. I truly believe that the biblical values that are that we advocate for, as far as what we're talking about, the rule of law, being pro-life, and even when it comes to taxes, or just anything like that. That these things are the best for everyone, and I will continue to to advocate for those values. And so I would just say, if there are two quotes that I think about all the time, especially around election nights and when the results come in. And two quotes I think about. One is, the duty is ours. The results of the result. Let me say that again. The duty is ours. Results are God's. So, and I think that quote was attributed to John Quincy Adams. I don't know. And another quote is, I guess it's something that I think about after election night, and also just in general. Like, this quote that I'm going to mention now is a quote that I basically just think about all the time because it's true. And I think it's something that really we need to think about when we're going into these midterms and thinking everything is, when you win, there tends to be some complacency, and that should not be. Because, like I said, the quote for me that I think about all the time is, eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Now, that quote has been attributed to Thomas Jefferson, but I mean, I don't know who said the quote. If he said it, great. Whoever said the quote, all I'm saying is that is a great quote, and that is great, words to live by, both of those quotes. But, another thing also, I know some people ask me before the runoff to, I guess, kind of make some endorsements in some of these races. And I decided against that. Not saying that I won't ever do that. I'm guessing I probably will. For me, I'm just, to anyone who I guess knows me a little bit, is that it's difficult for me to just make an endorsement of a candidate. Not only that, it's also difficult for me to join a organization. It's kind of going back to what I mentioned about joining the NRA. It will, becoming a member and all. It's it's something I don't do lightly. I think of all organizations that I've joined, maybe 3, and that's it. And I mean, I might be more open to endorsing and also, maybe joining organizations or whatnot. But I just know for me, whether we're talking about organizations or candidates, I'm kind of lost for words in a way of sense. I'm just trying to, when it comes to this, I'm always, I can always find something I don't like, put it that way, about, whether it's a candidate or organization. And I'm trying to break that cycle, actually. I'm kind of don't want to be so strict, because I mean, obviously, when we're talking about candidates, I mean, we're not talking about perfect people. I mean, obviously, nobody's perfect. So I guess I'm just trying to loosen up as far as being so strict for, okay, all right, I'll say, so-and-so, I make an endorsement or whatever like that. So yeah, it's basically, long story short, that's the reason why I didn't make any endorsements. Also, a little bit because I didn't feel like I was fully informed enough to make such an endorsement, because I felt like, I don't see myself as some, like I'm, some big get for someone to have my endorsement. But I'm just thinking about it for myself. I just want to be informed about the candidates to the point to where if I was going to make such an endorsement, that I know, in my mind, I am 100% set that this person, is my candidate, the person I endorse over someone else. And in some of these races, there were people who, it was kind of I kind of liked both of them, and I kind of didn't have as much of a preference against one or the others. That was another reason. There were other reasons as well. So, but yeah. Anyway, I didn't. I probably will later. I'm pretty sure I will when it comes to the general. It'll be a lot clearer at that time. But I'm just thinking about when it comes to primaries and all that. So I don't know. Who knows? I mean, we're coming up on the 100th episode. When the next primary comes up, who knows? We might not still be doing this. Who knows? I don't even know when that will be. But anyway, before we get into talking about the NFL, finally, making a decision on what to do about the players and the, protesting the national anthem. Before we get there, let's hear from a word from our friends with the Founding Project.
Hello, TrendChat listeners. If you like the Founding Project's Civics Education video series, Civics for All Ages, and our educational meme series, we think you will love our new website. Join us at thefoundingproject.com and be a part of the civics movement. The Founding Project is a 501c3 education nonprofit. Please join us today.
This is Dana Lash, and you're listening to TrendChat.
All right. Like I said, it's a long time coming. I feel like they probably could have done this a couple of years ago, but yep, they finally made a decision as far as when it comes to the national anthem. The NFL has put out a policy basically saying, on the field, everyone must stand. But if you don't want to be there, and if it's so oppressive to you to hear, "Oh, say, can you see?" If that's just too much for you, boo boo, just stay in the locker room. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah, just stay in the locker room. The song is what, 2 minutes. You do some ab crunches or something, or kneel in the locker room or whatever. Do whatever you're gonna do, whatever. Do some push-ups, whatever. But if you don't want to be out there, you don't want to see the flag because it's triggering you or whatever, just stay in the locker room, and then you could just waltz right out there once it's over, and and do your job and play some football, get paid millions of dollars. So, so that's it. Now, I don't know what the outrage is about it though, because when this came out, there have been plenty of stories already on various media outlets, and plenty of people out there condemning it. Sean King, all the liberals out there, all the Black Lives Matters activists in Black Twitter and whatever, and all of them, they're just like, "Oh, this is basically 1964 is making a comeback," or whatever. I don't I don't know. I'm not surprised if they're probably saying it's like Rosa Parks having to sit in the back of the bus or something. I don't know. I'm guessing they're probably making all those comparisons right at this moment, and I'm pretty sure all over in sports radio, they're all the, especially on ESPN, I'm guessing all of them are just up in arms. And how dare the NFL try to stifle the speech of these players, which I will say, well, I don't know what you're talking about. One, they're a private organization. They are able to make the decision if they want to anyway, for one. But two, they're not requiring them to stand. Like I said, if they don't want to be there, if it's too much for them, they don't, they can just stay in the locker room. And so if you're for the protest, you can still make your statement, because you will be absent from the field. You will be, in the back or whatever like that. So we'll know that you're not there. And it'll definitely make a statement when we see you coming out of the locker room after the anthem is sung. So we'll know who is making their protest still. It'll be clear. So I don't understand what all this outrage is about. I kind of feel like this is more about protest. It's not about a protest, I don't think. I feel like you just wanted to make a spectacle of the anthem. You wanted to make this a show. you want your face on the, in the camera when the anthem is going on. I feel like that's what it's more about. I want them to see me, and you want to focus on you, as opposed to the anthem going on. You want people to see you proudly protesting or kneeling, all sanctimonious like you. But I feel like it's more about that than about this protest. Because I mean, if you really don't want to be there for the anthem because perception of you want to protest, whatever, whether it's police brutality or whatever, or injustice in general. If that's the case, like I said, you can still make that statement by not being on the field. But I feel like the people who are making all the fuss now because they're not being able to be out in front of the camera, to see them kneeling or putting their fist up or whatever. I think it's more about, wanting to get some camera time. So, but also, obviously, the next thing that came out with this is a whole bunch of hashtag boycott NFL. Saw a bunch of that. Like that was real quick. And I'm willing to bet that this boycott, when the NFL season starts in the fall, I'm like 100% sure. I'm 100% sure. I'm going with 100 on this one. I know they'll never do that, but 100% sure that the boycotts, the protests against the NFL because of what they done today, today being Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure that these protests, and anything that is going to, any stories about boycotting the NFL, I'm pretty sure it's going to get very, very much, favorable coverage from the media. In the past couple of years, you had people, conservatives or people that didn't agree with the protests. They were having their boycotts. They were making their voices known about not watching the NFL because of the anthem protest, going, largely ignored by the media. Most, didn't hear anything about it. And a lot of times they try to dismiss it, try to say, well, it's just a small group of people. That doesn't really matter. It's not really affecting the NFL's ratings and blah, blah, blah. Now, but this time, when the season starts, don't be surprised if you have CNN, MSNBC, all of them outside the stadiums, covering all the protests, asking everybody about, what are your thoughts on the new policy? And, I'm pretty sure they have a, prime time coverage on CNN and MSNBC. And I can see them having little series, playing little, the slow music, and who knows, they might play some old footage from, in the 60s and try to equate this with this policy with Jim Crow or something like that. Or who knows, it might take me a step further. It might make it seem like, they just treating them like slaves and having this, so sad clips of people making it look like these $1 million players are being just treated like the slaves of Amistad. It's just so sad. Whatever. But yeah, I can imagine all that happening in this coming season. All of that. Just so melodramatic. It's just so horrible what they're doing to these $1 million players. Man. Just shut up, man. But I mean, yeah, like I said, you still can make your statement. Like I said, just you ain't got to be out there. Nobody's making you go. But anyway, let's hear about the new book from Politichicks. Hello, this is Brian Bledsoe, host of TrendChat, also contributor at Politichicks.com. Here to tell you about the new book called Politichicks, A Clarion Call to Political Activism, with over 300 pages from contributors like myself, talking about topics such as education, social issues, healthcare, the Second Amendment, and of course, activism. I encourage you all to check it out at Politichicks.com, and is also available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Yeah, so we got a couple of minutes left for the end of this episode, and you know what's after that? Yep, next week it'll be the 100th episode. I don't know why I'm hyping this up so much, but I guess I'm just happy that we got to 100. You know, another thing I want to mention too, we have passed like 3,000 plays. I know that probably don't sound like a lot. I mean, you have plenty of people who get 3,000 plays probably in an hour of one episode. So here I am talking about 3,000 over 100 episodes. But hey, as I mentioned when I first started this, I didn't think I would get one person to listen, let alone 3,000 have. So I am ecstatic about it. The fact that we are at 99 episodes, right? And we got one person to listen to each one. And so I would at least expect my mom to listen to one. Okay, so I would at least expect 99 plays. At least one person listen to it. That would be my mom. So I would expect that at least. Mom, if you listen, I hope you listen to this one too. So my expectation was at least 99 plays. So the fact that we're at 3,000, that's just like I wish I should have had a sound effect for like my blowing up something, because like my mind's blown by that. I mean, I appreciate everyone that has been listening, and I guess I should say this now. I should say this a lot more actually, but if you like it, share it, subscribe on iTunes, like it on whether it's Google Play, iHeart, Spreaker, like just everywhere you see it, like it and share it. And that's if you like it. If you don't like it, please share it. Still share it if you don't like it. I don't know why you would, but hey, if you don't like it, share it. Y'all be like, no, I can't stand that TrendChat. I want you to hear it too. Do that. If this is causing you misery, we know the saying, misery loves company. So how about you, play it to your enemies, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they might like it. But yeah, like I said, I'm to have, anything is above my expectations from starting this. I remember the first episode. You know what? I'm not gonna go into that until next week about the past and how the first episode went. I'll save that for the 100th episode. But I guess in our last couple of minutes here on this 99th episode, this week will be posted. Get it out, Brian. I tell you, that NFL thing kind of, got me all flustered. But this will be posted on Thursday, so that'll be May 24th. And I'm just saying that because there's a movie coming out called Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, obviously, if you've heard previous episodes where we did 3 episodes talking about Star Wars, obviously, you know that I tend to like Star Wars a little bit. So I'm looking forward to watching that tomorrow somewhere. Don't know where. Actually, I need to make a habit to mention where I'm broadcasting from. I really need to start doing that. I just keep forgetting about it. So we're broadcasting from Iowa today, from the world's largest truck stop in Walcott, Iowa. So, I just said that. It kind of felt professional. I really need to start doing that. But anyway, maybe starting on the 100th episode, I really get down as far as how to format, how I'm going to introduce where I'm at and all that. Just sound a little bit more professional, a little bit, just a tad. So, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching Solo. And if you don't know, Solo is basically the story of Han Solo from Star Wars. So it just tells you how he became the scoundrel that he was in the Star Wars saga, and how he met Chewbacca and all that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see that. So now I know Deadpool came out last week. I don't think I mentioned that. I mean, personally, it's not my cup of tea, really. And now I like superhero movies, obviously. Just, this one in particular, it's an R-rated one. And personally, I just think it's kind of gratuitous as far as the profanity and all that. It's a little much. I don't care for it. So, I haven't watched it. I might catch it on, when it comes on cable network or whatever. It's funny, actually. I watched the first Deadpool. I watched that through VidAngel. And I don't know how many people know about that, but VidAngel is an app that you can choose how, if you want to take certain content out of a movie, so if you want to take out certain curse words or all curse words or certain blasphemies or certain scenes you don't want to see, you can put this into a filter on the app, and then it shows the movie without it, and it does a pretty good job in taking those, taking that objectable material out. That's how I watched the first Deadpool, actually. But a lot of things kind of happened with VidAngel in the past couple of years, where it, you can still use it. It just it's a little different now. This is not an ad for VidAngel. Unless if VidAngel wants to sponsor TrendChat, hey, more than welcome. So, but yeah, but just to say, Deadpool 2 did very well. They did really well in the box office. So I'm guessing Solo will beat it. I kind of hope so in a way, because really, it looks to be pretty good, and I don't know why it wouldn't. Should pull in pretty good money. Maybe, I'm guessing maybe 80 million. Could go 100. I don't know, but for Solo. So this, but we got a couple more minutes left. I know I came across one other story now. If this talk about Solo has, kind of bored you because you don't care anything about not only movies, but don't care anything about Star Wars, I'm just going to say this right quick, because you might really not care about this next thing, but it's personal to me, so I'm going to mention it. Anyway, I just saw on Google, on the news, that they're not going to, put it this way, they have pulled Transformers 7 from the schedule for 2019. So Transformers 7 was going to release in June of 2019. And they pulled it from the schedule. So you know what? It's funny. As I'm saying this, I'm kind of picturing someone listening like, I don't care anything about Transformers. I'm sorry, but it hurt my soul to see that news personally. I'm venting for myself. If there's any time during this podcast where I feel like I'm talking to myself, it's right now. And I don't care because it hurts. If you haven't noticed that I'm talking about Transformers 7, obviously, from hearing me, I have watched them all. So, and I'm really invested in this story. And it feels like I'm not going to see the end of it, and it hurts. It really hurts. This is one of those times where I wish I was a billionaire, where I could just feel like can I just finance the movie myself so I can just watch it? Like, I'll give you $1 billion if I had it. If I had $1 trillion, I would give you $1 billion just so you can make this movie. I feel like, maybe that's the reason why I'm not rich. That's the reason why, because I will spend my money on frivolous stuff like $1 billion Transformers movie. That's why. There it is right there, folks. That's why that's why God said you can't have money, because you have just proven to people right now that you were spending on some stupid like Transformer movie. So that's why. So yeah, I guess that's why. But y'all can change that. Y'all can like and share and subscribe TrendChat. And maybe I might get, a little bit closer to that goal. Not saying that if y'all support me, I'm going to spend my money on the Transformers movie. I'm not saying that. I won't do that. Unless like I said, I had to, I won't do that. So anyway, that is all my, venting and frustration over, Transformers. I just had to get that out there. It was weighing heavy on my heart, and I really had to say it. So that's it. That is it for TrendChat for today. And I really appreciate everyone listening. I really appreciate y'all, sharing it and subscribing and all that, and everything, really do. And like I said, the next time you'll hear me, it'll be the 100th episode, and can't wait to get that all together for y'all. So that's it for this episode. And until, what is it? Well, let me tell you, it will be next Thursday. I know a lot of times when I mention next week, I don't know, because I honestly don't know whether it's going to be like Tuesday or Thursday or whatever. But I can tell you right now, next week, next Thursday will be the 100th episode of TrendChat. So until Thursday, we'll chat with you later.